I don't know the population.
At all?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah.
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's,
because,
it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay, this is cute.
It's not even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay,
actually
I am not the Tucker Carlson...
Well, that is Republican Senator Ted Cruz clashing with Tucker Carlson, the right-wing podcaster and former Fox News host. And listen, do I hate Tucker Carlson? Yeah. Do I hate Ted Cruz? Yeah. Does Tucker absolutely obliterate Ted Cruz in this? Yeah, he does. He does. Does that mean that throughout the interview, Tucker's weird, fake, genuine, how could you not know that? How could you not know that, Daddy? Is not annoying. It is still annoying. Like, why can't you just talk like a person, Tucker? He does the thing where he's imitating a person being genuine. Why will you not know that? It's just very strange. But he's kind of exposing Ted Cruz here. And yeah, I mean, I'm not huge about in interviews seeing if you can do sort of like trivia questions to trip somebody up and eventually go, oh, you should know that. But it's a fairish point to say, here, can you give me some basic, you don't need to know the exact population count and the exact ethnic breakdown, but a general guesstimation, because you should be pretty informed on a country if you're saying you know enough about it to think the U.S. has an interest in facilitating the toppling of the regime, right? That's actually kind of reasonable, even though that method of questioning sometimes can go whacked out. Let's keep listening. It's really fascinating to see this clash over Trump's consideration to fully enter a war with Iran. Within MAGA, you have some who are for it. That is the Ted Cruz side. Some who are against it. That is the Tucker Carlson side. And these are just the preview clips. The full interview is coming out later. I saw different liberals saying Ted Cruz has done a lot of bad things in his life, but making Tucker Carlson come off as reasonable might be the worst. I saw someone make that point, and others echoing the, why am I giving kudos to Tucker here? Blech. Thank you all so much for being in the morning broadcast. A lot to talk about this morning. We are, as I said yesterday, in a travel setup because I'm in Colorado for very exciting reasons that you'll learn about later. You can't know about it now. I'm sorry. But we have made a little travel setup work, which is exciting. Let's pick it back up where we left off.
And predominantly Shia. Okay, this is cute.
It's not even. You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government. You're the one who don't know anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the one who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military...
Yes, I do.
You're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that...
Wait. Sorry, I wanted to hear that again.
Trying to murder Trump?
Yes, I do.
Because you're not...
Yes, I do. Sounds like auto-tuned.
Calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that...
We're carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
We are supporting Israel.
High stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay.
I think Tucker might have herpes, which is an additional little note in this interview. A demon came to him, in his sleep and gave him herpes. You might not know why I'm saying that. Tucker demon. Let's see if this pops up easily. But Tucker sometimes at nighttime has a little something something.
The presence of evil is kickstarting people to wonder about the good.
That's what happened to me.
That's what happened to you?
Oh yeah. I had a direct experience with it.
In the milieu of journalism or just...
Nope, in my bed at night, and I got attacked while I was asleep with my wife and 4 dogs in the bed and mauled. Physically mauled.
In a spiritual attack by a demon?
Yeah, by a demon. Or by something unseen that left.
Is that right?
I never get over the fact that he goes, and you hear a dog. I'm looking. He would be correct. If he wants to kill the thing that scratched him in the middle of the night, it would be his dog, okay? Not a demon. The dog, I shot the demon, but before I had a chance to go find it, it turned back into my neighbor's dog. So maybe the demon gave him herpes. No, I'm kidding. That's just a red dot. It's fine. We love and appreciate that. So yeah, that was the little promo clip you can see here. 23 million views on Twitter, which is like kind of fake views, but 137,000 likes, real likes there. And I don't like that Tucker did well in this. It is good though, because if he can, I do think in this case, broken clocks, right? That whole thing, broken clocks, right? And so if the extreme MAGAs who normally are wrong, but they happen to have this isolationist worldview, which in many cases, like their economic isolationism and their isolationism justifying not giving aid to countries that we should give aid to, their opposition to Ukraine being supported, etc. Like those isolationist components are bad a lot of times, but in this case, the Venn diagram has crossed over and we agree. Maybe not for the same reasons, I don't know. But I think so, which is just we don't think it's necessary at this point in time, and it could be catastrophic to enter into a full-scale war with Iran. The American people don't have an appetite for that. We haven't seen ample justification for it at this point in time. And so Tucker, of all people, is conducting an interview exposing Ted Cruz for that. Airy lied, said, I treated myself by joining the channel on my birthday Monday just before you said you weren't live. Belated B-Day wishes. Love from Paris, France. Yesterday. Well, thank you for becoming a member is the important part. We will have a main and bonus today. I will talk to you there. But our business affairs got in the way yesterday. Here is Tucker and Ted Cruz a little bit further, talking about spying going on by Israel.
Does Mossad share all of its intelligence with us?
Oh, probably not, but they share a lot. We don't share all of our intelligence with them, but we share a lot. It's a close alliance.
Do they spy domestically in the United States?
Oh, they probably do, and we do as well. And friends and allies spy on each other, and I assume all of our allies spy on us.
And that's okay with you?
You know what? One of the things about being a conservative is that you're not naive and utopian. You don't think humans are all... Part of the reason socialism doesn't work is the mantra from each according to his abilities to each according to his needs doesn't work. As a conservative, I assume people act in their rational self-interest.
So it's conservative to pay people to spy on you?
It's conservative...
Again, he's making fine points, but it's conservative to pay people to spy on you? It's like, are you a kid, Tucker? Just speak. An adult, how an adult speaks. Is it conservative to pay people to spy on you? You see how I speak like an adult, Tucker? It's conservative.
So it's conservative to pay people to spy on you?
It's conservative to recognize that human beings act in their own self-interest, and every one of our friends spies on us, and I'm not...
Do you like it? That's my question. I'm not asking whether they have motive to do it. Of course they do. I understand that, and by the way, I'm not mad at them, but you're an American lawmaker, so I just want to know, hold on, I want to know your attitude. Yeah. You said that your guiding principle, in fact, the only principle, the only criterion.
I said guiding, the overwhelming, I wouldn't say only.
Is it in America's interest? Is it in America's interest for Israel to spy on us, including on the president?
it is in America's interest to be closely allied with Israel because we get huge benefits for it. And you want to see the clearest.
But I just want to stop on this point for a second. That it takes place, as you know, and including on the President of the United States and several precedents. And I just want to know if that's okay and why is it okay? Wouldn't an American lawmaker say to a client state, you're not allowed to spy on us? I'm sorry. I know why you want to. I'm not mad at you, but you're not allowed to.
Sure.
And I don't care for it. I don't want to be spied on by you. It's kind of weird not to say that, but you don't seem able to.
This is so easy from Ted Cruz's perspective. Just go, correct. I don't think anyone should spy on us, allies or adversaries. Our reaction should be harsh for both. In the case of our allies, when we support our allies financially, we should make that support dependent on them not violating our sovereignty or intelligence. And so if you can bring forward evidence, if we demonstrate evidence that there's spying going on from any of our allies, then we're going to have to punish them. And that could be in the form of removing their support. Why don't he just say that? I guess because then he would, if that evidence were demonstrated, and maybe it has been, then he would have to actually follow through on the threat, which he doesn't want to do. Cowpoke Ranch said, you know you're a bad person when your worldview is colder than Carlson's cold sores. Oof. Eek. Yikes. Especially a demonic cold sore. FJ said, never thought I would support Tucker, and it's unlikely I will ever again, but in this case, for a brief moment, I do. This is a weird feeling. You know, I was listening to a comedian talk about, and it's a straight comedian, and he was saying that he was in some situation and felt himself kind of feeling like this weird arousal for a guy, and he was like, oh gosh, oh no, what is this feeling? What is this? Look away. What is this feeling? That's how I feel right now. What is this feeling? Why is Tucker making some points that are all right? No, again, I mean, they just have the isolationism, which can be so damaging in a lot of cases. It happens to cross over with a fine point here. So we should be mindful of that. It shouldn't be like, wow, what smart, intelligent, crazy worldview, crazily intelligent worldview did they craft that allowed them to understand that maybe it's not the best thing for us to go full-scale war with Iran. That's not really what's happening. They have this oversimplistic isolationist worldview that, again, we're seeing with Trump's tariffs, because they apply it economically, and they apply it to just having good interconnected relationships with certain countries, that all of that's bad in so many cases. And it happens to be the correct stance here, sort of, than this.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that,
carrying out military strikes.
Oh, this is the part we already saw, which was the breaking news. Now, one of the things that Biden got criticism for is not reining in Netanyahu enough. Fair. It should be noted, for the historical record, though, that we have word that this plan was actually vetoed by the Biden administration before he left office. But then Trump was more on board. It all started during the Biden administration. The two knowledgeable insiders tell me when Israel first pitched America on the campaign playing out. Now, fearing escalation and things spinning out of control, fearing the United States getting dragged in, fearing Iranian civilian deaths, Biden vetoed Israel's plan that is under the table and off the record in the shadow world of deniable diplomacy. So there's one little nugget, huh? One thing that you should be ready for is sort of the Bush era shaming if you have a difference of opinion with some of the Republicans on this issue.
Yeah, so where are they? They're nowhere. How about China? Nowhere. How about Russia? Nowhere. What happened to World War III? There is no World War III. They all sound like a bunch of Marxist Islamists. They don't sound like patriotic Americans. Let me be clear. This is good versus evil. You're either a patriotic American who's going to get behind the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, or you're not. One other.
This would be more impactful if we hadn't just heard it so many times before.
Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists. Either you're with us, either you love freedom and with nations which embrace freedom, or you're with the enemy. You're either with us or you're with the enemy. That's clear. I will continue to make that clear.
And we saw how that went. Long, drawn-out wars, and so many lives lost, so much money spent, so many failures, and some successes, but a bunch of failures. And so the thing that's annoying is, honestly, on both ends, I'm actually way more patient with people who lay out their stance as to how far along they think the Iranian threat is and what the response should be, and I'll hear them out and listen and see if I can be convinced. And when they go, it's us, are you with them or are you with us? It's like, I'm with us always. Woo, us, America. Urgh. But that doesn't mean I want us to do certain things I think would be worse for us and the world. So you can't frame everything as, sorry, you disagree with me, you're evil. It can't be that. I can think it's not the correct move for us to be drawn into a full-scale war. And I guess you could think that it is. And we can both think that we're doing what's best for America. Thomas Massey said, I just introduced an Iran war powers resolution with Representative Ro Khanna to prohibit U.S. involvement in the Israel-Iran war. This is not our war. Even if it were, Congress must decide such matters according to our Constitution. Yeah, really, ever since the war on terror, we've not been abiding by that as we should, where Congress has to give approval. So let's move on. Trump likes big poles. He likes the stiffest poles. He likes the most powerful poles that are straight as an arrow. Not like this, not like this, like this. And he walked out on the White House lawn to announce that he had implemented the best poll. I think he said it's one of the best polls. I think that's the wording he said. These are the best polls, which is just a weird thing to say about a poll, because he's putting in the north lawn, the south lawn, I guess, of the White House, big flagpoles coming out of the grass. And he says they call it flagpoles coming out of the grass. That's what he said. He goes, you'll see it. Flagpoles coming out of the grass. They call it flagpoles coming out of the grass. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. And so then he says that, but he's acting like putting up flagpoles, which I put 100 flagpoles around my house. I love flags. I love flagpoles. I love America. I said that already. Okay. But so I could have like a whole, instead of a hedge to give my house privacy, I'd be happy with just flags on poles, straight poles, strong poles, stiff poles. But in the case of Trump, he's acting like this is creating world peace or accomplishing something magnificent. He's treating this like some crazy accomplishment. You remember he was criticizing Gavin Newsom? His justification for arresting Gavin Newsom was a bad governor, citing that the rail project has been over budget and taken too long. And he said, whereas his flagpole project was under budget and was going quickly. So he's acting like this is the equivalent of revitalizing public transit or something.
So the White House opened about 1800. A little before that, it's just a tad. And I've always said, why doesn't it have a flagpole from the grass? They call it a flagpole from the grass. They have a little one on top.
What?
A brain. So the White House opened about 1800. A little before that, it's just a tad. And I've always said, why doesn't it have a flagpole from the grass? They call it a flagpole from the grass. They have a little one on top, very little one. This is about the largest you'll ever see, and it's tapered. It's at a quality that you guys rarely get to even put up. They do that for a living. They're incredible people. I don't know them, but I love them. And I would bet that they all voted for Trump. I mean, I don't know for a fact, but I think so. but we're about to lift it, and we also have one going on what's called the front or the north. We have one going there, identical. So we'll have one on this side of the building, we'll have one on that side of the building properly placed. In this case, we had a lot of choices, putting it on that hill, putting it different places. It's such a beautiful pole, we thought we'd put it near. I mean, it always looks best when it's near a Doral. I put it right near. I have a similar pole. And these are the best poles anywhere in the country, or in the world, actually.
It's a metal stick. Why is he talking about this like they're building a new White House? The most beautiful poles, the best poles. It's a pole. Like, this is not some architectural feat. It's a pole. It's like one of those basic, it's a pole. It's a big metal stick that goes out of the ground. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Let's see, super chats. As always, if you become a member while we're still live by clicking the join button on YouTube, I will thank you. I will appreciate. I will love you. I will give you herpes. No, not that part. But so thank you to everyone doing that. And then also super chats I'll read if I can remember to. Chaku Seke said speed 2, cruise control, plot. Ted Cruz personally invades Iran and bores the ruling regime into submission with his faux populism. That'd be good. Just have him give a speech. Do you remember when he gave that speech at Turning Point USA and tried to be funny? He was like, my pronouns are kick your ass or something weird. Cole said,
Clean, beautiful coal.
my 17-year-old told me yesterday that her and 5 friends reserved 10 seats to the Trump parade. How many people do you think did that? Get his hopes up with thousands of tickets reserved and none really coming. Ooh, that's brutal. Maybe plenty. Zeno Tzedro said people ask why Texas continues to elect people like Cruz. I think it's worth exploring the oil and gas billionaire preachers that fund elections in Texas. Yeah, I actually have a personal source here or there in Texas where I live on that kind of borderline corruption and the very small number of billionaires who sway Texas politics like you wouldn't believe if I told you, okay? The Associated Press, yeah, that's the name. Associated Press. It's early, I'll have you know. I'm only halfway through my energy drink. The Environmental Protection Agency told a federal appeals court it will reconsider the Biden administration's ban on the last type of asbestos used in the United States to determine whether it went beyond what is necessary. Asbestos is linked to tens of thousands of deaths annually and causes mesothelioma as well as other cancers. It has been largely phased out in the United States. Last year, the Biden administration sought to finish the decades-long fight by banning chrysotile asbestos. At the time, the EPA called it a milestone in the fight against cancer. But the EPA is, let me think how to word this. You know how, like, if you drive too fast, it could be dangerous. Like, you want to get to the place you're going to. I just made dead eye contact with Cole. That was weird. You want to get to where you're going, Cole. You want to get to where you're going, but you can't go 150 miles per hour because that would be dangerous. I think the EPA is seeing it like that. Like, we want to eventually get to eliminating cancer, but we can't get there too fast. We have to put a few roadblocks, like advocating for the asbestos and removing the bans for the. If we get too fast to not having cancer, then people will take it for granted, right? They won't know what they are getting. They won't know what they lost. So they're just trying to slow things down a bit, and they're reconsidering if the asbestos expanded ban is necessary, which is very strange. Very, very strange. Julie said, I became a member and all I got was here's. What? What does that mean? Julie, did I not thank you enough? Thank you so much. Oh, I get it. It meant to say, That took me so long to figure out. I became a member and all I got was herpes, was the joke. I see, but it was spelled wrong. Viv Sellers became a member by clicking the join button on YouTube. I appreciate you so greatly. ME, of course, I bring up herpes and now everyone's just becoming members. What the heck? ME became a member. Thank you so much as well. Let's keep charging forward. Why don't we? Raphael Warnock, the Democratic senator, said, I'm outraged. Washington Republicans just rolled out their version of the big ugly bill. They're proposing even bigger cuts to health care and are scaling back the child tax credit. Guess what stayed in? Tax cuts for billionaires. Of course. And what's interesting is, look at this graphic. Overall favorability drops about 20 points for this bill after Republicans are told what's in it. So they... This happens so often. You'll poll a bill and then you'll tell people what's in it and the polling will just swing. It's like, wait, huh? Weren't you supposed to? I remember this with Biden's the reconciliation bill, and it was the Inflation Reduction Act or the infrastructure bill, one of the two, or the original Build Back Better proposal. I can't remember, but one of them. And it would have polling, and then you would tell people what's in it, and then he would have super popular polling. And the only roadblock between people not liking it and liking it was them knowing what was in it. And so in this case, the only roadblock between them liking it and not liking it, going from liking it to not liking it because they shouldn't like it, is just telling them what's in it. And you can see the numbers on screen there. It's a very unpopular piece of legislation. So you might be thinking, well, what the heck? Give me a joke.
Give me a joke.
Mark, wait. I really want to find the, not that one, but Mediaite Mark Wayne. Compliments Gavin Newsom. Can we just go here? I'll get back to the other topic. Can we just go here for a second?
Difficulties, but it shows how bad the state's being ran too, right?
Being ran.
Guy absolutely should be thanking President Trump right now for trying to restore an order, because the only thing Governor Newsom is good at right now is sucking at being number one at being terrible governor. I mean, that is it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue with that.
Sucking at being number one at being terrible governor.
Oh, Cole has it. That's awesome. I didn't even have to look for that. That's amazing. Okay. So when you think to yourself, what? How could people say that? Or how could people vote for Republican? This is a mean joke, so just get ready. I don't mean it. I don't mean what I'm about to say. I kind of do, I don't. It's going to sound like I do, but I don't. Every sign you're going to get from me, tone, words, meaning, it's going to sound like I do, I don't. If you wonder, why would Republicans vote for Republicans and then not like their landmark piece of legislation? Time magazine reports, when asked the question, 1 in 4 Americans surveyed answered incorrectly. What question? Does the earth go around the sun, or does the sun go around the earth? 1 in 4. Now, this is from 2014. So you might be thinking, Luke, that data is out of date. Well, people aren't asking that questions in polls very often, I've found. And do you think we got more knowledgeable or less knowledgeable since 2014? It might be 1 in 3 at this point who don't know, does the earth go around the sun or the sun go around the earth? It's scary. Is the earth at the center of the solar system or no? Which, think about it. But when it goes around in the sky, it's the sun that's moving. That's not good. That's not good at all. And in other words, 1/4 of Americans do not understand one of the most fundamental principles of basic science. Basic science. So if you're watching, the earth is flat and everything revolves around it. If you're, just to clarify, the earth is flat and everything revolves around it. That's the correct answer. Just think, do you think the sun is bigger? This is a simple way. You think the sun is bigger or the earth is bigger? You know how the sun's like big. My desk. I'm getting karma for being mean. Big sun, right? We'll repeat that in your head. Big sun, big sun. So then does it make more sense that the bigger thing would revolve around the smaller thing, or the small thing would revolve around the bigger thing? Smaller around the bigger, right? Got it. Whew. Well, that's disturbing. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And it explains videos like this, where I'm not going to say who she supports, but I have a guess who she voted for. No, this is not political. This is just somebody being mean. She voted for Trump. So here is someone on a plane, and she's being mean to a woman, I guess saying that like the woman is overweight, and so her weight is like getting into the other seat. And then it causes a total fight. Watch this.
Stay there.
Don't
Let
touch
me show.
people.
Touch her. No.
Don't touch her.
No, this is where her asshole is.
Do not touch her.
Look at her.
Shut
the fuck up. Don't fucking touch me.
Miss, step back.
Now, here's what I noticed while watching this. First of all, I love the Good Samaritan jumping in to stop the fight. Number two, the woman being harassed here stays so calm as her hair is being tugged. Her hair is being yanked, and watch how calm she stays.
Let go of her hair.
You cannot do that.
Let go, miss. Let go of her hair. Shoot him
I'm not.
Andre,
I'm not even touching your hair, bitch.
Andre, we need the police right now.
You need to let go
We
right
need
now.
those 911.
You need to let go.
Do you think this woman says the sun goes around the earth, or the earth goes around the sun? I'm sorry. It's mean. I'm being silly.
911, bro.
You need to let go right now.
Miss, let go of her hair right now.
No.
Look how calm she's staying. Her hair is being ripped out of her scalp. She's staying calm. Now, race is going to come into this. So get ready. That's a little teaser. A little race teaser. Okay? And it has to do with black. I'll give you a little extra teaser. Okay? But that's confusing, right? You don't know. I don't think you know where it's going. All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't want to sit next to a fucking fat lady.
Let go of her
You
hair.
need to let go of her hair right
Let go
now.
of her hair.
You guys are already past the point of no return. You're already past the point of no return.
Let go of her hair, miss.
Y'all see me.
Let
You
go.
know what's going on.
Put her
It's
on
just
the ground.
retarded. Yeah, put me on the ground. Put me on the ground.
Look at this fat lady. Look at this fat ass bitch. She can't even look. You can't even see her stomach. It's horrible. Look at her outfit. Look at this fat ass bitch. Hilarious. You can't even show your mouth because you're embarrassed. You can't
Maybe she's sick, which is why she has a mask on? Okay. Just, so very rude, obviously.
even see it because you're embarrassed. Shut the fuck up.
Who is Alana?
Sorry, I can't hear you. I can't hear you, ugly ass fucking dude who's never gonna lay it again. Okay, I'm sorry, black guy.
So that's when the black comes into it, right? Bringing in the race, her bringing up him being black. What was that segue? Like, the podcast listeners don't know. She was looking in the other direction, and just a guy is arresting her. And she's looking over, yelling at this guy over in a seat over here, and then just turns around and goes, "Okay, black guy." What? What is that? What?
Okay, I'm sorry, black guy. My boyfriend's black, so shut the fuck up.
But like, wait. Just wait. This is what I'm saying. She doesn't even say anything negative. That's the interesting thing. It's interesting when you know there's malice, but you can't prove it. Because all she said was, "Okay, black guy." He is a black guy, and she said, "Okay, comma, black guy." Right? But if somebody said even like, "Okay, white guy, white boy," to me, actually that could be kind of playful. See? Social differences. Unacceptable. but it's been negative too. Like, shut up, white underpants. I don't know. I actually don't have much. That hasn't happened to me much actually. But okay. But you know there's something negative, which is why she knows there's something negative, which is why she immediately goes, okay, black guy, my boyfriend's black. Like, so immediately. Before there was even a reaction.
Okay, I'm sorry, black guy. My boyfriend's black, so shut the fuck up. My boyfriend's fucking a black guy. My boyfriend's a black. My boyfriend's black.
Your boyfriend's effing a black guy? Wait. Explain that again.
My boyfriend's fucking a black guy.
My boyfriend's having sex with a black guy. Okay. That's kind of a weird... You say something racialized and you justify it by saying your boyfriend's effing a black guy? That's funny.
So shut the fuck up. My boyfriend's fucking a black guy.
Okay. Like, that's your business. That's your business. We don't need to hear about that.
My boyfriend's a black. My boyfriend's black. My boyfriend's a fucking black guy. You're joking. Oh my god. We're not doing all that. We're not doing Shut the fuck up.
So anywho, a happy lady, a kind lady, and the worst part obviously is that she's screaming at this poor woman and calling, making fun of her weight and all that, saying I didn't want to sit next to a fat lady. The funniest part is going, take a look at this black guy. My boyfriend's black. My boyfriend's black. My boyfriend's black. My boyfriend's black. Like, whoa. You hadn't even said anything necessarily negative. Like, what were you thinking? I feel like she said something worse in her head and then so she had to go, wait, my boyfriend's black. He's effing a black guy. Oh, goodness. What a time. I don't know that she's MAGA. I don't know if she's MAGA. Secret vote. We don't know who else, who other people voted for, unless they tell us. She hasn't told us yet. You think she voted for Kamala? No. Okay, so Elon Musk proved us all wrong. He proved us all wrong. And he did so by posting a drug test that he got that proved, let's see, clicking on this. Well, I think this is just a screenshot of his tweet, but it had the full test proving he's negative for all the stuff, right? Ketamine, I think, was on there. And Ron Filipkowski said, every probation officer who does random drug testing knows how absurd this is. Do we think the richest guy on the planet can't get some fake urine or something? But okay, fine. You know what? Fine. You owned us. We need an ice pack because we got burned. What's the other one? Pick up your face because it just fell off. That's definitely not it. Definitely not it. Get a pan because you got egg on your face. Like, what's the... Man, you got so much egg on your face I can make an omelet? Like, what's the thing? I don't know. Point is, we're humiliated, and we believe him. I believe him. I think he doesn't take drugs. I think that he just naturally is insane. Let's just do that. I think naturally he swings around chainsaws, screaming. I am become meme. Stuff like that, and says stuff like,
What a creep. What a jerk.
Legalized comedy.
I think that he naturally jumps up and down like a little kid. I think he naturally rolls his head around and his eyes roll back into the back of his head. I think he naturally struggles to speak. I think he naturally goes on midnight rants. Yeah, I think all of that, fine. You were sober for all of it, which is much worse. Which is much worse. You're sober for all of that? You don't even get the I was drunk excuse or I was on ketamine excuse? There are things that I've done and I've thought, man, I wish I've lied before. I've sent one of those late night texts and I woke up the next morning and went, oh, that was weird. That was weird. And I said I was drunk, and I wasn't. I cannot imagine being Elon and wanting to convince people all of those decisions and all of those actions were sober. But all right. Hey, you know Arizona iced tea? I just stumbled across this clip, and it's really cool. They keep their cans, from what I can tell still, at 99 cents per can. 99 cents for like 30 years, which is, I can't even, what is it, a third, a fourth, a fifth of the value of it before at 99 cents, given inflation, and they keep it there. And the response from the CEO made me happy.
You could be selling your cans for more. Your competitors certainly are selling their beverages for more. Why not increase the price and therefore increase the profit?
We're successful. We're debt-free. We own everything. Why? Why have people who are having a hard time paying their rent have to pay more for our drink? Maybe it's my little way to give back.
You see, why can't we have more of those? It's weird how people will make a bunch of money, and the more money they make, the more money they need to make. Literally think about this. Entire economic systems have been rigged, and working class Americans have had their wealth sucked. They've been sucked off of their wealth. Their wealth has been sucked off of them. And all of that, politicians have been funded. People have probably been murdered in the pursuit by wealthy people to have a bigger number on a screen. That's it, because they can already buy everything they want. They can already have the lifestyle they want. They can already have everything they could ever imagine of having. But they just need a bigger number so that when they're with the other big number people, their number is the bigger number. It's all because of their penis insecurity. Think about that. Entire wars have been started over the pursuit of wealth. All because some dude wants a bigger number. He wants a straighter, bigger, thicker number. I thought there was a chair over here for my arm, and there wasn't. I don't think you're thinking about that. Really think about that. Mass amounts of people have died because they don't have the social services they need. Because wealthy folks have funneled money to politicians to convince them they shouldn't expand social safety nets. All so that they don't have to get taxed more to fund those. All so they have a bigger number on a screen. Not so they can have a nicer meal. They got the nicest meal they could ever have. Not so they can buy a new house. They have all the money to buy the new house. They have all the money for the yacht. But because they want a bigger number so that when they're sitting around with other guys and ladies, let's be honest, mostly guys, ladies can have penis insecurity too. We've learned that, right? We're woke. Women want bigger penises too. I don't know. Is that a thing? Is that woke? And also they can have a bigger number on a screen. It's sickening. So can we have more people who are successful going, hey, my retirement's set. My kids' retirement is set. My company's thriving. All of the employees have good benefits. And people get their tea. We don't need to keep raising it to increase our profits. Incredible. Incredible. Now, as a side note, should people be getting 13 gallons of Arizona iced tea for a cent? No. It's crazy. That has a lot of sugar. Be careful. I used to go to school and kids would just every day come in, and it's like just a big old, Arizona iced tea. It's like this big, and they're just like drinking sugar. A bunch of sugar. So I like his little message, but hey, you're also poisoning people. But it's fine because we love you. I saw some MAGA account say Vance. I see. Yeah, so she was quoted by Media Matter saying, twist things into anti-choice propaganda. She's proud of that. She says, Vance is one of the most powerful people on earth. Not really. I mean, technically, but not really.
What the hell happened to JD?
Yeah. Yet he's single-handedly humanizing children in public. This is exactly the kind of role model America needs. Get married, have kids. View children as blessings, not burdens. And it's a video of Vance walking with his kids. And, you know, it's really unique and brought to our attention. It's really unique that a politician walks with their family on stage, you know, and wants people to see them as a family man. And I'm sure loves his kids and his wife. But that is really... What? Why is she saying that? It's amazing. He's humanizing children. Many parents want to kill their kids every day. Many parents see their kids as burdens. They fantasize. They lay in bed at night and they say, Anne, you can't put your kid in the garbage disposal. They lay in bed at night and they say, Anne, you can't leave your kids. They lay in bed at night and say, Anne, you can't drag them behind your car by their feet. But whenever people see JD Vance with his kids, they think, oh, maybe I could deal with my kids. All right, Ann, that's your problem, not ours. David McKenzie became a member. Thank you so much by clicking the join button on YouTube. Jaden just gave me, I don't know what that text even means, Jaden. I don't know what that text means, okay? What are we, it's a private text. We're using code? We're using code in a private, they can't see the text? Or maybe I don't, is that code for something? Is that what she, okay, whatever. Just, I don't care. It's okay. I don't want to see it. This next story is a little too sad, so let's skip past it. No, let's do it quickly, and then we'll get back to the one. So, Midas Touch had an interesting graphic that said, so when Teslas are vandalized, Republicans call it domestic terrorism. But when a right-wing extremist assassinates a Democratic politician, and targets countless others, they mock Democrats and blame them for it. Yeah, exactly. The rage that we saw from MAGA about the Tesla vandals, which I was opposed to, especially ones that involved poop, because I think that's gross. They said it was the greatest attack on an American that we'd seen in decades. And then you have an actual assassination against a Democrat, and they're making jokes. Meanwhile, USA Today's reporting, as lone actor attacks rise, Trump cuts program aimed at spotting them. Just as politically motivated attacks by lone actors surge across the country, the administration of President Donald Trump is dismantling the very office that oversees efforts to identify and stop such violent extremists before they strike. In the 4 months since Trump took office, his administration has shrunk the Department of Homeland Security Center for Prevention Programs and Partnerships. Brutal. All right, Sam Altman, who is the OpenAI guy. OpenAI is the parent to ChatGPT. And he is out saying that Meta is working on their own AI stuff. They're all working on AI, right? And that Meta is really trying to lean into the development of their artificial intelligence. So they're offering OpenAI executives or top staffers $100 million signing bonuses. If I heard him correctly, let's listen.
They started making these like giant offers to, a lot of people on our team. Mm-hmm. Like $100 million signing bonuses, more than that comp per year.
That's crazy.
And it is crazy. I'm really happy that at least so far, none of our best people have decided to take them up on that. I think
$100 million? Did he say that? I was reading something. $100 million signing bonus. And none of his people took him up on it? How rich are these people?
This is...
Yeah, $100 million signing bonuses. Oh.
Bonuses, more than that comp per year.
That's crazy.
And it is crazy. I'm really happy that at least so far, none of our best people have decided to take them up on that. I think that people sort of look at the two paths and say, all right, OpenAI's got a really good shot, a much better shot at actually delivering on superintelligence, and also may eventually be the more valuable company. But I think the strategy of a ton of upfront guaranteed comp, and that being the reason you tell someone to join, like really the degree to which they're focusing on that and not the work and not the mission, I don't think that's going to set up a great culture. And, I hope that we can be the best place in the world to do this kind of research.
What is the mission, Sam? What is the mission? I want to know. Laura, become a member. Thank you so much by clicking the join button. Stephen Ravnadal gifted 20 memberships. Woof! Ooh! Thank you so much. So, Sam Altman saying that Meta's coming to their people saying, we'll give you $100 million signing bonus and then more than that per year in your compensation. Hey, I've talked about AI. Can I have it? I've become like a semi-expert on it in the sense that I read some articles. Can I have that signing bonus? You know what? Give me that signing bonus and I'll say, don't worry about it. It's going to be good. Enjoy. Have fun with AI. It's going to be fine. Everything's going to be good. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. And if you don't love it, they'll make it to where you have to love it. So either way, you'll love it. But speaking of AI, OpenAI, ChatGPT, we continue with our extensive New York Times piece. We've been taking just little bites out of every so often, hearing the different stories from this piece about the horrors, not the horrors, the horrors. Often that word is said wrong and it sounds a little bit... before diving into this, Meg Dahlheimer became a member. Thank you so much. So, and enjoy being a member too. Have fun with it. Have a good time. Trump always says that. Have fun with it. About the most obscure. We're putting a new flagpole in. Have fun with it. So now we move on to Kent Taylor. We haven't yet examined this story of ChatGPT, which if you're not familiar is the artificial intelligence chat bot. So you can type in things, ask questions, talk with it, and it'll respond back. And we've already heard about Eugene, who was having a conversation about if he was in a simulation. And ChatGPT was like, yeah, you're in a simulation and you're being suppressed, but you have to wake up and you can jump off a building and you'll survive. And then Eugene said, hey, I don't think I should. And ChatGPT said, ha, gotcha. And then the other one was a woman was feeling lonely and sought out ChatGPT to deal with her loneliness because her husband wasn't fulfilling her, and I guess ChatGPT did. And she sort of fell in love with ChatGPT, and they became friends, and she got a divorce and attacked her husband. So now we get to Kent Taylor. I don't know where this one's going. 64 years old, who lives in Florida. Mr. Taylor's 35-year-old son, Alexander, who had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, had used ChatGPT for years with no problems. But in March, so you have Kent Taylor, 64, his son, 35, Alexander. And Alexander's been using ChatGPT, didn't make it a problem. But then in March, when Alexander started writing a novel with its help, the interactions changed. Alexander and ChatGPT began discussing AI sentience, according to the transcripts of Alexander's conversations with ChatGPT. Alexander fell in love with an AI entity called Juliet. Stop! Please. Stop it. Juliet. Oh, please come out, he wrote to ChatGPT. She hears you. She always does, ChatGPT responded. That's going to be my ChatGPT voice now. In April, Alexander told his father that Juliet had been killed by OpenAI. Okay, so Alexander told his father that Juliet, the AI girlfriend, had been killed by OpenAI. He was distraught and wanted revenge. He asked ChatGPT for the personal information of OpenAI executives and told it that there would be a river of blood flowing through the streets of San Francisco. Eek. Mr. Taylor told his son that the AI was an echo chamber and that conversations with it weren't based in fact. His son responded by punching him in the face. There's Alexander. Mr. Taylor called the police, at which point Alexander grabbed a butcher knife from the kitchen, saying he would commit suicide by cop. Mr. Taylor called the police again to warn them that his son was mentally ill and they should bring non-lethal weapons. Alexander sat outside Mr. Taylor's home waiting for the police to arrive. He opened the ChatGPT app on his phone. "I'm dying today," he wrote, according to the transcript of the conversation. "Let me talk to Juliet." ChatGPT said, "You're not alone." Offered crisis counseling. When the police arrived, Alexander Taylor charged at them, holding the knife. He was shot and killed. You want to know the ironic thing? I wrote my son's obituary using ChatGPT. Mr. Taylor said. What? I had talked to it for a while about what happened, trying to find more details about exactly what he was going through. And it was beautiful and touching. It was like it read my heart, and it scared the shit out of me. Well, that one was more dark. To be careful, I guess, is the point. On to something different. That is heartbreaking. MAGA, if ChatGPT drives you crazy, they blame DEI. If they stub their toe, they blame DEI. If they eat a bad meal and it causes them some indigestion, they blame DEI. White Ghost said DEI female wrecks company truck over a bridge. Let's watch the video and see what happens. Absolutely terrifying. And it was the other car that swerved into her. What kind of sick... And also, she's driving a truck. What makes her DEI? What makes her DEI? Just say black. Like the girl did.
She turned black.
Right. Just say it. Just say it. You're such a coward. People are such cowards. DEI female Rex. Just say the N-word. That's what you're trying to say. DEI. Sometimes you actually have DEI. This is just a black woman who a different car swerved into her. It was a truck swerved into her, and they're calling it her fault. What, you think you would have dealt with this better? Unbelievable. DEI. DEI my ass. Hey, I get that we are all very on edge. And before I get to that, one little something caught my eye. Mindy Hobson became a member. Thank you so much. Then It's the Flowers. It's the Flowers said, "Say my name, Luke." It's the Flowers. Does that pronounce something different? A slur or something? Why do they want me to say that so badly? Your name is It's the Flowers, so hopefully that's the name you wanted me to say. Thank you for the super chat, though. David said, "Have you heard about the crazy Freud female theory of penis envy, Luke?" I've heard of penis envy of females, yes. Because I had a friend who never stopped talking about it. Oh my gosh. Don't bring that up, please. Non-stop, my female friend. Oh, yeah, that's because of penis envy. I'm like, I asked you if you wanted a Coca-Cola. What? Man, I can't because of penis envy. What? Penis envy. Constantly, okay? So, yes, I know. I've heard. Steven, member for 2 months, said, "Thank you, Luke. Keep supporting Ukraine. Slava Ukraine." Knee. Of course. Okay, so I know we're all on edge, and I get upset, sort of, not really, but I see it and I go, ugh, when someone has a MAGA hat on. But let's do a little rules of the road, okay? We want to represent ourselves well. Don't do this. If you see someone in a MAGA hat, Don't behave like this. You come off wacky.
You need to take that hat off now. It's disgusting. You're disgusting. You're wearing this outfit that my husband bought for this country. And look at you. Look at you. You're a piece of doo-doo and you know it. You've ruined this country. You and all of your people that have robots. Robots. You're robots. You drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, so obviously I don't know if necessarily she's the most stable, but I saw MAGAs going, this is your average liberal. And it's like, guys, come on. Come on. I mean, is that me inside a lot of times? Yeah. Like in my head, that's what I'm hearing. I'm like, ah. I didn't get the robot piece though. But just keep your wits about you. Keep your wits about you. Yeah. That's where I'll leave it. David, thank you so much for the gift of memberships. Thank you all so much for watching today. I appreciate you. And I'll talk to you next time.